Seeing a lot of this cooler Gulf air start to move into our area and bring us some of the onshore flow, meaning a lot of this Pacific moisture, cooler temperatures will move inland for us. The Department of Justice has confirmed a suspicious death linking 92-year-old John Arnold to his caregiver, Carol Cody. It's not just the big rivers and streams that we have to be worried about anymore. So when we're talking isolated showers, we're talking very focused areas. We've been talking the chance for wildfires pretty much for the last couple of days. We've seen hundreds of lightning strikes across that region since at least Friday evening. Now that chance is starting to increase tonight. The Florence mayor tells me they are taking an active stance on how their community will grow by 2020. There are rules with the Oregon Trail Card of what you cannot buy, including beer and wine, pet foods, foods that will be eaten in the store, and hot foods. But we talked to one woman today who said she knows that the Oregon Trail Card is buying things it shouldn't be. We just hit about 81 degrees here at the station in Springfield. It's a controversial topic here in Florence. Lane County is trying to annex some land by August 14th. But the residents living in that area say public hearings have done them no good, that they're not being heard by elected officials. Those elected officials are considering taking pieces of North Florence and annexing them into city limits.
Every city in Oregon is required to have a 20-year supply of land that they can expand into. So that's the area within the urban growth boundary.
Transferring that land into official city limits could mean residents living there would have to pay city fees, including sewer and some taxes. But the mayor of Florence says not everyone would be obligated to do so.
If your septic system is functioning and fine, you don't have to connect to the city sewer. And people are either unwilling, may misunderstand, or are unwilling to accept that.
Lane County promises they will not force annexation on any given area. But one resident we spoke with says that's not how it feels.
Want to know what we feel? Let us vote.
He says most of the people living in North Florence are retired. Many live on fixed incomes. He says this is more than they bargained for when they moved in.
Look at the size of the room. No, I don't think they've made an honest attempt to see how many people are really interested and care about this.
Urban growth areas are designed to provide municipal services to new population. There are some residents who don't want to be educated. They would rather point to City Hall as some mysterious ogre in this matter. We're not. Our policy is very clear, and the more I can get it out there, the better I think we'll all be.
It was standing room only, full of people against annexation. Their comments heard through a live remote connection. Lane County says more public hearing will be offered before a final vote August 14th. Another wacky weekend of weather. As we mentioned earlier, the snow was reported today, hail was reported today. I went from Eugene to Junction City to the Daffodil Drive and went through it all as well in that very small drive. And I know a lot of people out there reporting the same thing. Things are starting to change here a little bit. We saw the snow already, but we're going to see a little bit more of it tonight and into tomorrow. That low pressure that we talked about last night is already kind of sitting over our area, hence the cooler temperatures that we saw today. We will continue to be unseasonably cold into tomorrow. And then you see this frontal system, and that's a warm front passing through. So that's where the majority of our rain is going to come from as it continues to lead into that front. And then about midweek or so after that front passes through, we'll start to see some warmer temperatures in here. But don't worry, the rain is really sticking around. We're 2 days away from spring. We've said this more than once or so. These snow levels, let's really break it down here, because I know a lot of people obviously going into Monday morning, we're heading back to school, we're heading back to work. Yes, we're going to see that lower elevation snow one more time at least. So that could mean some coastal snow into tomorrow, also some heavy mountain snow and a very low wind chill toward that area as well. Those snow levels were about the 900 mark earlier today. So we're going to see those drop to about 700 feet, 800 feet into tomorrow. Areas like Corvallis here in Eugene, Springfield, Junction City will likely see the snow again tomorrow. I'm going to leave that window open until about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning that we're going to see that white stuff. And then after that point, as those temperatures start to rise, we start to see those higher temperatures, probably in the mid to upper 40s tomorrow. We'll see it turn to rain. Now take a look. Here's Futurecast. It's not really going to break down rain versus snow for you, but you at least see the moisture. As of Sunday night tonight, 7 o'clock, you see most of that moisture that we saw earlier is already moving out of the area. We see increasing clouds, we get a small break, and then we get more rain going into Monday. Now here's these warmer temperatures, but also the heavier showers as that front is passing through Tuesday morning.
We're going to see those showers start to pick up and be a little bit more consistent. Tuesday, Wednesday looking like it's going to be the big batch of rain that we're going to see for the week. We decrease to about a chance on Friday. Take a look at tomorrow. If you're waking up along the coast, again, that snow is possible. We're keeping that breeze tomorrow. Onshore flow making it look like we're going to see more gusts into the afternoon. A little bit of sunshine hopefully near dinner time, and then mostly cloudy overnight. We see those flurries earlier on, but we're seeing the wind through Tuesday. We get rid of most of that rain by Thursday afternoon. Mostly cloudy conditions going into the weekend. Here's Roseburg. You can take a look. Rain showers pretty much the entire day. 49 degrees. That snow toward the southern area. Not so likely, but also possible. We're going to see that rain at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we're back down to a chance likely to be scattered there as well. Corvallis also very wet tomorrow. Going to see some of that snow early on, and then it's turning to rain into the afternoon. Eugene and Springfield also seeing the white stuff early on, probably until about 11 o'clock. Like I said, by lunchtime, we're going to be merely rain, and into the afternoon, we're going to see those showers become a bit more scattered. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, again, that big batch of rain that we're seeing with that warm front, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, less rain, but still the chance.
C-Spot Run runs out of a vet clinic on Main Street in Springfield. Now, the unique part about this therapy resource is an underwater treadmill for dogs, big and small, young and old, either recovering from surgery or opting out of surgery altogether. It's the only one of its kind in the area besides Corvallis. And today I sat in on a session and got to see firsthand the progress it's allowing for pairs like Victoria Doyle and her dog Sadie Mae.
Where are we going, Sadie?
Sadie Mae and her owner, Victoria Doyle, have come in today for their weekly therapy session with veterinary Dr. Lisa Iverson.
You want to try to get her on this side first? She's a superstar.
At 140 pounds, rescued St. Bernard Sadie has had numerous health problems.
10.5 months old, she blew out her first knee, so she ended up having cruciate surgery, and there was a 50% chance that the second one would go, and sure enough, at 16 months old, her second knee went out.
After 2 major surgeries, Sadie lost a majority of her muscle mass. The pair started driving to Corvallis, the only place at the time offering canine hydrotherapy.
We would drive 2 times a week to Corvallis so that she could do her 10-minute treatment.
But in May, Dr. Iverson opened up her hydrotherapy room in Springfield. Sadie Mae has been getting in the water there ever since.
You're doing good.
There you go.
That's good.
The water provides buoyancy so that they don't have to stand on their own, and then I can get in the treadmill with them and place their feet where their feet belong, and helps them to remember how to walk. Now you get to rest. Good girl.
With the water at 92 degrees, Sadie's session is set for 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and she's made a lot of progress.
She's much sprier. She's able to get up and down a lot more. She just doesn't seem as painful.
She said, another minute. One more minute. Come on.
I went to physical therapy and they couldn't make me do that. How are you making a dog do it?
Liver treats.
Your face.
That's my girl.
And the cost is a lot better than it was for Victoria, but she says they've been willing to do whatever it takes for Sadie to be better. But hydrotherapy has paid off.
I don't know that we would still have her. They told us that she may only live to about 5 years old, and she's 7. So we feel very grateful, and we feel like what we've done is what's helped her.
Prices vary at C-Spot Run, averaging about $40 a session in the tub, about $25 for laser therapy. We've posted the information about C-Spot Run on our website, kmtr.com. In the studio, I'm Angela Brauer, News Source 16. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, whether it's the iPhone, the iPad, or an iPod, or even an Android. Once you have one, you are hooked, and there's no escaping the App Store. These days, we are tied to technology.
Hello?
Perhaps tied to it the most, kids and teenagers, and they know their way around the App Store on most phones. Many of those apps can sharpen their minds, help them do their homework, and overall be more productive. But all of this technology, these games, these apps, they can lead to problems.
All apps are not good, and even the good ones are not good if they're played too long.
Licensed professional counselor Jamie Gwynn explains a lot of these apps can come with a downside. Now more than ever, she says parents need to be in control.
People who design these apps are trying to make money, and they understand very well that these are addictive.
Take the game Top Girl, for example. To be the top girl, you have to dress hot. Hot enough for a modeling job and hot enough to hit the bar, pick up a guy, and take him home. When I tell you about this and I tell you that it's rated for girls or even just kids that are 12 and up, what are some of your first thoughts?
That's disgusting, and I don't want my children around that.
If you're not hot enough, you get sent home.
Nowhere in any of the organizations or the books about raising girls' self-confidence does it say that you should learn to be addicted to shopping or party or flirt with hot guys.
But shopping, partying, and flirting with hot guys earns you points in this game.
Even when you're not logged into the game, it keeps playing, giving your girl energy for the bar and for those modeling gigs, and coins for better clothes. And it even sends you naughty text messages to remind you you're missing out.
It is adding to the addictive nature of it. Your child might be happily doing homework and they get this email, oh, your girlfriend looks cuter than you do, better come back, or something. That's like a pusher.
And what about the game Clear Vision? In this game, the character starts out as a store employee, becomes unhappy with his job, and turns into a violent gunman. What do you think of that when I tell you the rating is for kids 9 and up?
I don't think that's appropriate at all.
It could promote violence, and it could be not good.
Because it does affect the children in a social aspect, even at the age of 3 and 4. It causes them to become more aggressive.
And while that same game has a more explicit version for those 17 and up, the intent is still the same.
What about this game Fatify?
Fatify. You take a picture of yourself or a friend and the app morphs the face to appear fat. So fat, you can jiggle it with a tap of the screen.
I think it's just one more example of the message from our culture that thin is good, fat is bad. And fat is bad for health-wise, but this is not about that. This is about making fun of people. And I think the danger of Fatify is it being used to be mean.
Regardless of whether it's 10 years old or 4 years old, it is really inappropriate, needs to be monitored by parents, and I think that some parents are kind of failing in that situation.
Parents should know there are official ratings released by the company that designs and programs the app. But the rating is placed so far down at the bottom of the screen, it takes some effort to notice.
When I look at stuff, I've not paid attention to the ratings to even know that they're there.
We asked Apple about their ratings policy. They told us that essentially anyone can make an app, and that app can hit the ground running if it looks or sounds popular to a smartphone user.
To think that, I can't be disciplined enough to control myself with the iPhone, it's hard to imagine that kids can be as well.
And it was for that reason that Kyle got rid of his iPhone.
If you're not disciplined enough to know how to control yourself, then I think they can do a lot of damage.
Gwen says parents like Kyle need to realize and recognize.
The idea is balance. Figure out what your values are and what you want your children to be learning. Apps that are violent or teach values that are against our own family values, I think can be dangerous.
She says times have changed drastically and parenting, like anything else, needs to keep up.
100 years ago we had 100%, parents had 100% control over what their kids saw, heard, and experienced. Since 1912 we've had less and less and less. So we have to kind of fight against that, and we have to make sure that we stand our ground. Set up really clear guidelines with clear expectations and clear consequences. They won't be happy about it, but that's part of being a parent.
And remember that kids look to their parents as role models, so it's important for you to turn away from those apps yourself and don't just hand over that phone or tablet as a distraction. In Springfield, I'm Angela Brauer, News Source 16.